I'm Peter Schrager. Here's your Week 11 Fox NFL cheat sheet video. These are the things on my mind, the things that I'm hearing around the league. Number one, watch out for the 49ers. I say it with a question mark because Monday night's win was so dominant, so good, that it reminded you of the 2019 team that went to the Super Bowl and the 2021 49ers that some of us expected we would see this year once they got healthy bodies back. Truth of the matter is, that's how the 49ers want to win, and that's how they want to play football. 44 rush attempts. You don't see that in the NFL. It's the third most carries by a team this season. Time of possession, a giant disparity. And most importantly, just a dominant style of football in the trenches. That's what the 49ers want to be. They don't want to be throwing the ball all over the place. They don't want to have to win with Jimmy Garoppolo's arm, which leads to what can happen in the future. That style, they want to be that. And Kyle Shanahan wants to do that, which leads to Trey Lance. It might not happen this year. Let me be honest. It might not happen next year. 49ers fans might be freaked out hearing that. It might be another year of Jimmy. He's still under contract next year. But eventually, that style of football, running the ball, getting the carries, getting first downs, sucking the life out of teams on 18-play drives like they had to open Monday night's blowout of the Rams. They want to do that, and with Trey Lance's legs, that is a whole other dimension that they might be able to employ moving forward. My big cheat sheet nugget is that style of football is great, and Jimmy Garoppolo is fine running the offense. What you should be thinking about is what that offense would look like with a mobile quarterback who can do things with his own legs and do things that Jimmy, although albeit a fine rusher of the ball when he has to and has to scramble, isn't what Trey Lance will be. This is like 49ers 1.0. Think about 49ers 2.0 when they actually build an offense around a mobile quarterback. Number two, how about how tough the Tennessee Titans are? I said on Good Morning Football on the NFL Network earlier this week that the Packers have overcome a lot. And I started listing the injuries. I'm like, there's no Jair Alexander. There's no Zadarius Smith. Robert Tunyon's out for the year. And now Aaron Jones is out for a couple of games. The amount of responses I got from Titans fan warrants mention. They came out in droves because, to be honest, no team has overcome more than the Titans. And they are now the number one seed in the AFC. And they have faced the toughest strength of schedule through 10 weeks of football. They lead the league in players on injured reserve with 20. They have dressed over 80 different players this season. That's first in the league. And they have lost 260 different games from players due to injury, if you put it all together. They've also lost their best player in Derrick Henry. They've been without Taylor Lewan, and now Julio Jones is out for 3 games. To say that the Titans have overcome some things is an understatement. Tennessee, I see you. Well, I could also say that Green Bay's overcome a lot also. Look at what the Packers have been through. Look what the Titans have been through. If we were to have a playoff situation starting in Week 11, those would be the number one seeds in the respective conferences. Both teams have been through some ish. Number three, the Chiefs' offense is back, I think. And the reason I think it's back is because they figured things out in Sunday night against the Raiders. And it's, you got to get Tyreek Hill the rock. You got to figure it out, because when they get Tyreek Hill the ball, the Chiefs' offense clicks. I know we focus on Mahomes and Kelsey so much, but I believe Tyreek Hill is the key to the Kansas City Chiefs offense. And I think it shows with their record and what happens when Tyreek has big games and when Tyreek doesn't have big games. Right now, the Chiefs are 6-4. They're in the playoff mix. Obviously, they're leading the division right now. In their 6 wins, Tyreek Hill averages 9 catches a game and 110 yards, and he's got 8 receiving touchdowns over the course of those 6 games. In their 4 losses, those 9 catches go down to an average of 5 catches per game. That 112 receiving yards goes down to 45 receiving yards. And Tyreek Hill has 0 touchdown catches in those 4 losses. Get Tyreek the rock, find a way to get him going, and you usually win. I love Mahomes. He's the NFL Network's number 1 overall rated player. I love Kelsey. He's a future Hall of Famer. Tyreek Hill's the key to this offense. Get Cheetah the ball. Number 4. Quarterback might not be the Jets' problem. It's like I live in New York. I operate out of New York. And the fact that the Jets have named Joe Flacco the starter for this week is causing great hysteria. And it's causing a lot of anxiety because what are we doing? You've got Zach Wilson, but then you've got this Mike White who had a great story. And now you're going to Joe Flacco, who was just acquired via trade and is not the future of the team. And what's going on? Because even if Joe Flacco finds a way to win a couple games, what's the point? But I'll tell you this, Joe Flacco could do things that he did in 2012 and 2013, and it won't matter long-term if the Jets' defense is as bad as it is. I have serious concerns that the defensive head coach and Robert Saleh has now given up 45 points in consecutive weeks, and it's not like there's help coming along the way. That is the sore spot of the Jets. They've got a run game. This Michael Carter is good, and the quarterbacks are going to throw interceptions. They're going to do whatever. That's a defensive head coach. You've got to get your house in order. And I love the Saleh hire, but there is some question marks going into this Week 11 game with why are we even worried about the offense? Fix the defense. 45 points in back-to-back weeks, unacceptable from an offensive head coach. Things have to change for a defensive head coach, and they have to happen now. Number 5, let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what should be a get-right game against the Giants this weekend, except the Giants are not who Tom Brady wants to face. The New York Giants are 5-3 all-time as a franchise against Tom Brady, and even last year in the Monday night game that the Buccaneers did win, there was a controversial call at the end that could have gone the other way, and the Giants fought so hard and almost beat Tampa Bay when Giants season was already lost and done with early on in the year. I would say this, Tampa Bay's problems I can't identify because the last 2 weeks, that Saints game, and then a Washington game off a bye where everything was supposed to get right and they're supposed to figure themselves out, they looked even worse. And it's not like, hey, it's because this player is injured, because I don't think they can't operate without Gronk and Antonio Brown. They've won games without those guys. And it's not like, hey, it's because the defense, suddenly the defense that was so good against the run can't stop the run. There are big questions about Tampa Bay, and I think the last team they wanted to see, regardless of the players on the roster, was that Giants logo. Brady struggles against New York for whatever it is, 2 Super Bowls and a bunch of other regular season games. The proof is in the pudding. Brady's Achilles heel, it might be a lot of other things. You don't beat the Giants too often. I'm going to say that this is not going to be a gimme, and for whatever reason, the Giants give Tom Brady a ton of struggles. Some really good games this week. Enjoy them. Week 11, we're already here. Let's see how everyone does. I'll see you next week on Fox Sports and the Fox Sports app.